Morning students, welcome to my channel Let's Understand, and today we are going to discuss with you all the text about Aunt Jennifer's Tiger, which is from the book Flamingo and for my CBSE students, and this is there in your term 2 examination as well. So before going on to the text, let us quickly have an idea about the setting of the poem. This poem is written by Adrian Rich in 1951. And this poem highlights the evils of a patriarchal society. It expresses the evils of a patriarchal society. Now, what is a patriarchal society? The male-dominated society where the emotions, expressions, feelings, thoughts of a woman is completely suppressed or is given no importance at all. Where the male dominates the female members. Okay, so this is basically the theme where it brings out, this poem clearly brings out through the character of a lady named Aunt Jennifer, who is having a kind of a silent revolt or protest against this oppression. She cannot speak it out loud because her thoughts, emotions, expressions, feeling of expressions were suppressed. She is fearful. She is having a fear. She cannot let it out directly. So through an embroidery, she is doing an embroidery in the panel, and through this embroidery, she is letting her emotions, her anger, her revolt out in this kind. So any of the way, like if we are sad, we listen to the songs and we make our mind fresh. So letting it out, every emotions needs a let out, a channel to be expressed. So when you cannot speak, you have to feel it inside and you have to find any other of the ways to let it out. So this is our embroidery through which Aunt Jennifer is letting her emotions, the suppressed emotions, the suppression that she is feeling out. She is revealing it. Now let us quickly go through the text. This is a very short poem, but it is having a lot of inner meanings which reveals the helplessness of a woman who is facing oppression and she couldn't help her out from that situation, and there are many poetic devices used. So let us quickly go through the text. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz, denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek, chivalric certainty. So here it is said, Aunt Jennifer's tigers. So here the tigers are not real. These tigers are embroidered tigers, which brings out the thoughts of Aunt Jennifer. Like if you have seen Tare Zameen Par, the movie Tare Zameen Par, you have seen that when Amir Khan goes to Ishan's house and he sees that there is a book, there is a scrapbook where he has drawn, and slowly he turned the pages and it is reflected that how Ishan is getting separated from his family. Okay, the first page, all the 4 of the family members were there. Then slowly, as he crosses across, it reflects that how he is getting separated from the family. So that is he cannot speak. Ishan in the film cannot speak properly, but through his drawings he let it out. Whatever is his feelings, he is letting it out. So similarly, Aunt Jennifer here, an oppressed, victim of oppression, is letting her emotions or the silent revolt against oppression out by this embroidery, where she is doing the embroidery of prancing tigers, means the jumping tigers. Okay, and they are the denizens of the world of green, means the forest, world of green. So she is basically making an embroidery which is full of forest, and the yellow color, the bright topaz, the color of the tigers are compared with the topaz. Topaz is a bright yellow colored stone. Have a look on the stone, the image of the stone. Yes, this is a bright topaz. So the tiger's color were compared with this bright topaz. So these tigers were the denizens, were the residents of this world of green. You can see the embroidery. Yes, this is the forest and this is the tiger embroidered over here, the tiger which is prancing. Now, it is said that they do not fear the men beneath the tree. So, well, they are the masters of their own thought. They do whatever they like, they go wherever they like, they don't even bother who is standing, who is looking at them, or whatever is the surrounding. They are just the masters of their own, so they do not fear the men beneath the tree. The men, those are standing beneath the tree, they don't care, they don't fear. So here the tiger is used as a symbol of courage, honor, and you can say bravery. Okay, so obviously tiger is used here as a positive symbol, because Aunt Jennifer's mind is totally a victim of suppression. She is very much negative. So she reflects a positive image and let the readers know that she is also having a dream of living a fearless life, like the tigers. They pace to sleek, chivalric certainty. This chivalric certainty, what is chivalric? Means utmost power, unmatchable powers. Okay, so this chivalric certainty, they are having a grace of their own, they are having a power of their own. So these tigers, these are the characteristics of Aunt Jennifer's embroidered tigers, which reflects the thoughts in her own mind, the dreams that she has possessed, which has been suppressed. What are the characteristics? Let us quickly see. The characteristics are, the tigers are bright, their colors are bright like topaz. They are the denizens, means the residents of the world of green. They do not fear anyone. The men who are even standing beneath the tree, they do not fear anyone, and they are in sleek chivalric certainty. They are having the utmost power of their own, and they move around with grace and with courage. They move around. So I hope you have understood the first stanza. Okay. Next, Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. So this is in the second paragraph, we come to know that why Aunt Jennifer is so much suppressed, because of her marriage. She is not happy at all with her marriage, because it is said the massive weight of Uncle's wedding band. Wedding band means the engagement ring. Okay, so it sits heavily, the weight, because the engagement ring is not at all heavy. Okay, so why it is said heavy? Because of the responsibilities. Now, when a girl is getting married, she is having lots of responsibilities, which once upon a time, it becomes a burden. With the growing days, if you are unable to fulfill your dreams due to these responsibilities, then it becomes a burden. A responsibility, you should always be dedicated towards your responsibilities, that's true. But when due to fulfilling these responsibilities, your own identity is leaving behind, you are lacking behind your identity, then this responsibilities changes into a burden. So there is a very fine line between dedication towards responsibilities and burden. And this fine line is your lack of identity. If you are lacking your identity due to fulfilling the responsibilities, then that becomes a burden. So here it is same. It is the massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. So she is bounded. She is surrounded by the responsibilities and with a suppressed environment, which has become a burden for Aunt Jennifer now. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool. Now this wool, she is making an embroidery. You know that she is making an embroidery with the wool in the panel, where she is making the prancing tigers in the forest. Fearless prancing tigers. Now why her fingers are fluttering? Fluttering means they are shaking. There are two reasons for this fluttering. It is Aunt Jennifer is an old lady, and the second one, she is very much fearful. While she cannot even find even the ivory needle hard to pull. Ivory means from the elephant's teeth. It is, the needles were made in the olden days. So it is even difficult for her to pull those needles. Her hands are fluttering like this when she is pulling out the needle because of her suppressed mind. She is very much suppressed and she is very much fearful of her husband harsh behavior or the harsh reality what she is facing in her life. Here it is said that Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. Though she is letting her emotions out, her inner thoughts out, but her mind is under tremendous control of the burden that she is facing in her marriage life. So she is disturbed. She is disturbed in her mind and her hands are fluttering. But she has found a way to let her inner thoughts out, or a kind of a silent revolt to the oppression she is facing so long. So Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. So this is the reason that she is under the control of the harsh nature. She is fearful of the harsh nature of Uncle, through which she is not able to clearly bring out. Means she is under pressure and she is trying to make the inner thoughts letting out, but she cannot. Now coming to the last stanza. When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. So here, when aunt is dead, now the death of this aunt is a symbol of complete surrender to the oppression. Though she is making a revolt for her oppression, but that is silent, and that too under tremendous pressure and control of the burden. So her death here, when aunt is dead, it signifies clearly her complete surrender to her suppression. Her terrified hands will lie still ringed with ordeal she was mastered by. So, after her death even, she will remain mastered in her ordeals. Ordeals means having a very unpleasant experience for a prolonged time. Okay, so here, when aunt is dead, means she has completely surrendered to her oppressions. Her terrified hands will lie still ringed with ordeal she was mastered by. Means all these days, throughout all these days, whatever she has suffered, she will have that within. She is taking all those experiences with her. But the tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. Though she has surrendered to the oppression, but the tigers that she has embroidered to represent her inner thoughts, her inner urge to live freely and fearlessly, will go on prancing like that. It will remain as it is. Aunt can surrender her body, but her works are eternal. So this reminds us also of the poem A Thing of Beauty, where we have read the lines that we have imagined for the mighty dead all lovely tales that we have heard or read. This is a line from A Thing of Beauty. These two lines are similar. So the mighty dead, how the dead becomes mighty? Their body perishes, but their works are eternal. Like we are reading now Adriana Rich. Someday she will die, or might be she is already dead, but her works are eternal, like Shakespeare. Shakespeare is dead and gone, but her works are eternal. That is mighty dead. So here it is same, though aunt is surrendering to the oppression, to the situation, to the helplessness that she has suffered in life, but her works will remain as it is. So that's all for the text. Now, there are certain symbols and poetic devices, as I told you, that the first symbol that is used are the tigers. The tigers are the symbols of courage, bravery, honor. Okay, the tigers also represents the fierceful force of a human soul, and as well as the male-dominated society. So the tiger is used here throughout the poem as a positive image through which an old lady represents or reflects her inner thoughts, the fearful urge of her human soul. Okay, the first symbol is the tiger. Now next, coming to the text, the line chivalric certainty, which denotes the unflinching confidence or utmost power. Okay, so this chivalric certainty is an alliteration. Alliteration, what is alliteration? Alliteration is the repetition of a consonant sound. Here it is C and C. In the same line, the repetition of a consonant sound is known as alliteration. Here, chivalric certainty, C and C. Now, these are the two main. The main thing is the symbol of the tiger. The second one is the massive weight of uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hands. Now this wedding ring has been personified. Now what is personification? Personification is when an inanimate object, means an object which cannot move of its own, is given a human quality, a quality of a person. Like the wedding band. The wedding band is an inanimate object which is given a human quality of sitting, which is completely a quality of person, of a human being. So here the wedding band is being personified. The next one, prancing proud. This is again an alliteration, prancing proud. So these are some which we can go at a glance and we can get it, these poetic devices. So I hope you have understood the poem. It's a beautiful poem which expresses the thoughts, the inner thoughts and the situation, the helplessness of a lady who at last surrenders to her helplessness. But how fearful a human soul can be after getting suppressed, those are highlighted, reflected through these prancing tigers. So read the text, and if you have understood the poem, please like,